buenos. Morning to you, Bojos McGlinty. Right, let the lurking begin. Don't you know it? Don't you just know it? Merry fucking free tag to you, Crispix. Guranga. That jaunty intro is the greatest collaboration of all time. I'm here to claim it. Another horrific oversight by Scottish culture. You've got hot Indian bagpipe lassie, Gilmerton's fucking #1 representative, Podgy. You couldn't want a greater multicultural mashup of all things. And guess which state-funded? Let's not even get in it. Guess who gave them the bum's rush? Because they didn't get on their knees for Angus. It's a dark wee country, this, eh? It's a parochial wee place. But we're going to liberate ourselves from all of that. How are we all doing this morning? Arpignon, morning to you. Hola, morning to you, Vambo Rescue. I like all these. I feel like some familiar names, some familiar cats in the house. Right, well, where are we at as we circle the depths of dystopia? We're in it. We're actually in the collapse, aren't we? This atmospheric background sounds is credit to Mixmaster Miguel Oliver. And how are we doing for tonals? Do I need to turn the music down? Or do I need to turn the music up so you didn't hear me slavering shite? Let me know. Boogieing down in Carcassonne because that's how he likes to roll. But he made sure I got a wee fine selection for this morning's streaming. Look, there he is. There's the man himself. Bonjour, monsieur. Right. You just can tell me if you need me to turn it down. Folk are always saying to me I get different things about the music all the time. Folk are messaging me, they go like, fucking music's too loud, I can't hear. Didn't like it when the music's on. I didn't like the music you're playing. Fucking shut up. Go and watch some other fucking cunt on the internet then. This is me. Good morning to you, Madame Guy. And a nod to know if he's in the house or in the vicinity. Hello from the coast. Oh, I'm alright. can't do it. I feel flattered. I've got so many different mornings in the final you got. But it's all good. It's all good. I like to see a healthy populace. So what's going down, right? We've got genocide. We've got digital ID authoritarianism from the biggest wankers that have ever existed. What are we to make of it all? We've got assassinations, all the wrong people. Well, actually, come on. All the wrong people are getting assassinated. Innocent folk in Gaza, all over the world. Too much killing, but and all the cunts are still alive. That's about the size of it. Is it not? Right. But it's true, isn't it? Mio Colino Vinny. It was my cousin Vinny. Morning, comrades. Another day in the depths of hell. Well, welcome to the depths of hell. Welcome to the depths of hell. Right, let's have a wee look before we start trying to make sense of anything, if there is any sense to be made of any of it. Let's dive in here. Oh, here we go. Really like the music, but can't hear you. Right, well, what is the general consensus? Didn't I start this? Can't you hear me, shite? You can hear me fine. I don't know who this Stonefish. I've followed this account. It's got Larkin as the avatar, which is always a good sign. See, I quite like this account. I don't know who it is, but we'll give them a retweet. One thing that we should maybe consider about the political class and a lot of the whole neoliberal thing. I mean, people who pay attention to me are probably bored of hearing me bang on about this stuff. But if you remember how poorly executed the track and trace thing was, then we know that they're not very good at generally getting things together. So there's every chance that our new digital IDs won't work anyway, or nothing will work, A lot of it is just fucking hype, isn't it? But also they do have the technology now. And it is the Planeter types and that, the Peter Thiel psychopaths. John White, I will absolutely not comply. Knowing John, I believe him, to be honest. I believe he won't comply. But none of us should comply. And the urge to blame liberals is high. I don't know why. I mean, this is the thing that I get caught in. It's like, the liberal lefties are supposed to be like, well, that's the problem, isn't it? They're not on any cunt's side, they're on their own side. But when you see the right sticking the boot into the liberals, but what they call the left are liberals, that's the problem, isn't it? Because if it was actually the left, they would be shitting it, because it would be like a mobilised left. What's this? What's it saying? Can you fire me a link to the music later? Aye. I will. Look, I feel I've got. I'll put the links today, I promise, today I'm going to fill in all of the links to the people that, and the accounts, the Instagram accounts, and the TikTok accounts, and the music and stuff that I play on What the X. It's a bit of a scope. It's not. It's just, look. It's a bit of a fannying about thing, right? I keep meaning to get round of it, but I keep getting distracted. But I will. It'll be a Peter Thiel IT system. So here's the thing, right? See, when it was COVID and you had to sign on and everything or whatever, or cunts like me did, and it was like you had to submit your fucking ball sack and everything on the screen, and it was an Israeli tech company. I looked into it at the time, and it was an Israeli tech company that they've got all my details, so I'm fucked. There's a drone coming through my window any minute. But it'll be tied to the newly privatised NHS. It will be. Beldam says, funny how it's announced a few days after signing a tech treaty with the States. Aye, hilarious. Anyway, I was going on about this account. I like this account, Larkin. Big into it is. They followed me, and I've followed them. Stonefish. Oh, this is what's going to happen as well. Peter Thiel's already got adios. Come on. Come on now, come back. There we go. So we need to. I need to get some data on the digital ID. So I thought, because I didn't have time to. Oh, this was quite interesting, just for the. The meta interactions of Scottish-based X and Twitter. Brian Spanner, right, was slagging folk who were moaning about being, having to have digital ID. And I know it's just Twitter and all the rest of it, but nobody knows who he is. Or folk say that it's Ewan McComb. I'm not actually convinced that it is Ewan McComb. Maybe it's Ewan McComb's dad, or Ewan McComb's brother, or somebody. I don't know. Is it Ewan McComb? He's kept it up for a long time. We've had this conversation before here. But he was going like. He was slagging folk about it, and then I slagged him. But, yeah, I take it. It's like Ewan McComb. And then he started making excuses about it. I'm pretty sure the deep state isn't that interested in the photo of your air fryer dinner or cock shot sent to a colleague after 2 bottles of Jacob's Creek. He's a real comedy merchant. He's such a funny guy. But who is he though? Nobody cares who he is. A real japester, eh? Brian, you're a real japester. I care he's watching right now. He will be watching right now. What else is he going to do? Brian Lurker. But either way, I'm going to turn the music down just a wee bit, because maybe it's a bit loud for me. But it does pose that question, isn't it? It's the sort of age-old argument. It's that whole thing about, if you've not got anything to worry about, why are you worried about having it? It's like fucking. I can't stand cunts that fucking speak like that. That's it. Ewan McComb's guitar. Mind they had a band. What were they called again? The Fat Cops. It was Chris Deeran. It was all like, basically what happened, right, Scottish culture died when Indie Ref got called, right? It was the end of Scottish culture. And every annoying cunt became somebody, right? And I tried to become somebody, but they wouldn't let me. They're like, nah, fuck him, he's too old. You had to be a young cunt, and you had to be like fucking an idiot that loved the SNP, or you had to be like one of the other ones that hated them. And they're all the same. They're all the same bunch of cunts. And Macomb and that, they were like the sort of the unionist press, weren't they? And then they had a band, and it was like fucking. It was Ewan McComb, it was J.K. Rowling's husband or something, was it not? And some other cunt, Chris Deeran. And then because they were all in the press and that, they were like, oh, look at this band, like full page spread. And I was like, fuck off. But they were fucking shite as well, weren't they? They were shite. Talking of shite music. The Say Awards got look, sometimes I think I shouldn't swear as much, and then other times I think I should just. Why should I not swear? What do you think? Should I stop swearing? I'm not really that bothered. Can you tell? Anyway, I actually wanted to see. And this was Barney Farmer. Aye. Swearing is great. The verdict is in. Right, I fucking will then, eh? The verdict is in. But this is Barney Farmer, who's another funny cat. But I didn't know whether he was being serious or not here. I don't know, but so the BBC breaking news: all UK adults. His face, he's such a fucker, you know. What annoys me more is the people that elected him, because so many of the people that elected him are like out there protesting against the genocide. It makes no sense. It's just bourgeois politics, bourgeois culture, party politics. And increasingly, it's just the same. It's just a very small section of the culture that are actually arguing about politics as well. It's basically the last sort of vestige of kind of liberal middle classes all arguing with each other. It's all very depressing. Anyway, all UK adults to be required to have compulsory digital ID under new government plans. Well, as if we didn't know that was coming. Incidentally, for those of you, for the fine people that follow What the X or follow me, you will obviously all know that, like, when I started doing this last year, and I made a very clear statement when they came in about what calibre of cunt we had just elected. I'm no Nostradamus, right? I'm just no fucking stupid, right? And everybody else is, I wonder what fucking, I know exactly what type of fucking cunt they all are, because they were all watching COVID, going, rubbing their hands together, pulling their wires about what they were going to get up to when they got into power. And now, here we are. Barney Farmer says, with a mandate derived from around 1 in 5 of the electorate and the perversity of first past the post, I think this effort to redefine the fundamental relationship between the state and the individual is going to crash and burn. But I think I assume Barney was being a bit mischievous there, but who knows? Palantir licking their hypothetical chops at harvesting the data. So we're just here, aren't we? We're just to be harvested. The Matrix and all the rest. The Matrix was a documentary, man, yeah? The Matrix was a documentary. What's this guy saying? I need to put my loop back, hang on, so we can hear what this guy says. I can't mind what he says, I've bookmarked it, so he says something. Right, what's this guy saying?
I'll probably be canceled. I have held my tongue for too long on this matter. Now I will be canceled, arrested, or killed for saying this. And that's a goddamn fact. That is a straight fucking fact. There is no freedom of speech left in the United States. But I'm going to say it. I don't give a fuck. I really don't give a fuck. Come arrest me. Come fucking kill me. Whatever you have to do. Cancel me. I'll probably be canceled. This video will be suppressed.
You live in a farm in the middle of nowhere.
The farmer brand, in no way, shape, nor form do I support the murder, the fucking genocide of women and children that is being done by Israel right now. There. I said it. I'm literally shaking with anxiety because you are fearful as an influence, as a content creator, to speak out against the Zionist state that is conducting the largest genocide known to man, worse than Stalin, worse than Adolf, and they get away with it because the Zionist state owns America. They own every fucking politician except for 2 in Congress. Wake the fuck up, people. You think we're pitted against each other, Republican versus Democrat? No. We are systematically divided by the Zionist state that is running this world, and they are creating genocide. My fucking heart breaks, and I feel, I mean, it makes you want to fucking puke. If you have watched any videos of literal children fucking dying in the streets, innocent children being fucking starved to death by Israel, and if you think that is fucking right, go to my profile and unfollow me, because I will not support anybody that fucking supports that bullshit. Wake the fuck up, people. We have to stand against Israel, who owns this fucking country and who will silence anybody. Ask Charlie Kirk. They will silence anybody that speaks against them. And we as a nation have to stand up because our taxpayer dollars are killing innocent women and children, and it has to fucking stop. And I am a diehard Republican. I'm not a conservative. I'm not a MAGA. I'm a Republican. I do not regret my vote. I do not wish that I would have voted for Kamala Harris because it would be the same. It's all a fucking smoke show. It doesn't matter who our president is, people. It is all a fucking smoke show. They are all paid for by one fucking country. United we stand, but Israel we fund. This video will probably be suppressed. Like I said, I'll probably be canceled, I'll be killed, I'll be arrested.
Ryan Dawson.
But I don't give a fuck. Somebody has to speak up. Somebody has to stand up. Every American, stand the fuck up and wake the fuck up.
Here, Ryan. I never actually seen that. I did follow this guy, but well done, Ryan Dawson, whoever he is.
Held my tongue
a lot of truth there, eh? Let's just, somebody sent me this morning, and it's pretty mental. It is pretty mental. Let's just have a wee look at what they say in this service here.
The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now and make our offering to different gods. We offer young men we call soldiers, as if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die. We call masses of humanity collateral damage and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee. And the truth is, we don't do it because we are heartless. We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing, that they demand blood as the price of their favor. We do it because we cannot see any other choice. And maybe that's why we read the Akedah, the binding of Isaac, on Rosh Hashanah. Because the story of the Akedah isn't about inconceivable obedience. When Abraham prepares to sacrifice Isaac, he is just accepting the same bargain of blood we still accept today. that some need to die for the world to flourish.
So, you know, it's there's definitely a lot of truth, isn't there, in the stranglehold or the hold that Zionist capital has over both the US and the UK. You know, how much Zionist dollar is floating around our government, you know? How many of our elected representatives secured their victories in their constituencies with Zionist capital? I mean, these are genuinely important questions to ask. And in Scotland as well, there's a significant amount of Scottish Labour MPs who have taken money from Zionist funders, and I think we deserve to know about that. What do you think? What do you think about that? It's definitely a disturbing situation. There's no two ways about it. And what does this digital ID thing mean for Scottish folk like us? And what are we to say? What's the latest thoughts on your party? Is it still they've tried to revive it right after the calamity that occurred over the last week or so. Craig Houston talks shite continually. I think that's probably what his full profile should say. More than 300,000 people have signed this petition in less than 12 hours. Please sign and share. As much as I like Norman and I'll retweet that, and I dare say I will actually sign it. I rarely sign these things, but I will sign it for the sake of it. But it does feel futile, all these petitions and things. I'm always a bit cynical about these things. I'm always a bit like, a bit cynical. Right, the other thing that I wanted to look at, there's a bunch of stuff I want to look at this morning. We've got time. Do you like my new badge that somebody gave me? It's an SNP badge. I didn't care why it's not. I like that. I like it's all gone Raj colours. That's because of the chroma key. So let me see if Craig Houston might have helped me there because he was replying to John Swinney, it was Swinney that I wanted to look at. So Swinney and Swinney's bad, but Jamie's better to go. Where was Jamie's thing? In fact, I put it up. I've got to go through my own tweets. I mean, that's the Rajesh thing, right? This guy that chopped folks' seeds off and that. He's the guy that's meeting Trump and that, right? This is the state. This is where we're at. Same dude. I mean, come on, eh? This is where we are at. Okay, we'll tackle each thing as it comes. So the Say Award, the Scottish Album of the Year Award, which has always been a bit of a backslapping jamboree, but increasingly everything to do with mainstream Scottish culture is just a fucking tiny wee postage stamp of fucking annoying cunts. Same fucking banal, boring, anodyne fucking bastards that are just part of the whole thing, right? And if they had nominated the Gyro Babies, which they should have nominated the Gyro Babies, because the Gyro Babies album is brilliant and they're a great live outfit, and they at least deserve to be on the fucking long list, right? But nah, they're not on the long list, eh? They never got they never got selected. So that means that you just can get slagged perfectly legitimately. But if they had nominated them, I still would have thought all of the things that I think about all of these annoying, useless bastards that populate mainstream Scottish culture. I just might not have said it. But what does it matter, eh? I'm just a guy on the internet, eh? I'm just a guy on the internet talking shite like every other cunt. Right, what was funny though was that I think the Gyro Babies put this clip up, and when I put it on my yes, they should be on there. And then I seen this guy, Steve Mason from the Beta band, and it was quite funny because I put that thing on my story, and then the Say Award people seen that I'd been truthful. Whoever runs the account, whichever social media blog, they also seen the thing that the Gyros had put up with this guy, which is true. Let's just have a wee listen to it, see what he says.
So, and come down here and play. It was a band that I think are amazing called the Gyro Babies.
That's because they are amazing.
And they've been around for quite a while. Me and a friend of mine used to run an internet radio station in Scotland, and we heard about them, and they came in and did a couple of things for us. And then when I moved to Brighton, I kind of lost touch and blah blah blah. But then I heard that they were still doing stuff, and then I found out that Gyro Babies and a band called Colonel Mustard from Glasgow had sold out the Barrowlands, which is like a 2,000 capacity venue. I mean, I would struggle to sell that out, and they've done it. So, and they're putting on these boat parties, they're putting out albums themselves and stuff like that, and they're you know, they're doing all that, but they're also an amazing band. Why they haven't been signed, I don't understand. What do they sound like? Well, I mean,
they just sound fucking great, right? That's what they sound like. But what is good is that
a little bit of the Mondays at their very, very best, but then again, you know, I mean, I'm at their old best, like 86, 87 best. Yeah. But then it's different. It's very different again. They're just, I think they're such high quality bands. Can you sort it out? Can you hook us up, get down in? No problem. Beautiful. All right.
Right. Anyway, aye. So basically, Gyro Babies definitely should have been on the long list at the very least, and it's another fucking shitty little cliquey. And why the fuck? Listen, right? I didn't like Mogwai, right? Mogwai make bad music and that, right? Cool and all the rest of it. And like, can't take that away from them. I mind when I was in Colorado or something, I was driving a Mustang and I was driving about and I was listening to rave tapes, right, and it was a really atmospheric vibe, right. So even though that Stuart Braithwaite guy and that, and I've fucking, and by the way, see that guy, he was cheeky about me once before I was ever cheeky about him, so fuck him. But also, they are a bunch of cunts, right? Because they got a bunch of they've got some film out about them, right? And they got a whole bunch of loot off Creative Scotland to make that film. And the guy that worked at Creative Scotland, what is it? Matty's in the chat. He had something to do with Mugwai as well. The wee parochial cliques of middle class bastards that populate Scottish arts and Scottish funding and all the rest of it. And it's fucked up, right? Because there's loads of other people who haven't got a boat, who have never had a boat, who deserve to have a boat, right? And cunts that have made loads of money, like you, Mogwai, why are you getting more money off Creative Scotland? And why are you in the fucking lineup for this? I bet your album isn't that good. Why are you fucking, you know, honed from the bone marrow of Scottish funding, right? Put some money into fucking people that haven't got any loot. It's right there in front of you, you bunch of fucking cunts. So you shouldn't be on it. You shouldn't be on that fucking bill. Also because you fucking made a cunt of it over the South by Southwest thing. That alone means you shouldn't be on that fucking thing. Like, that's just my opinion though, right? Anyway, rant over. Colonel Mustard, yeah, they are brilliant. You know what? I've never seen them. I've never seen them live, but I've seen some cool vibes. Like definitely, like there was a track, something from, I think it was from that night at the Barras, which I really wanted to get to. I couldn't get through, but epic kind of chorus vibe and stuff, like really impressive. And they've got a massive following, haven't they? And it's like a right big party vibe that they have going on, and they get like they've got an infectious. That's what we need, man. Like, you know, vibes, right? We need good vibes. We need good vibes. We're all lovely old Brits now. Jimmy McRae. Good to see you, Jimmy. Jimmy was piping the other night there, it was brilliant. I should have put a clip up, I'll do it next time. Right, I'm taking a quick break. I'll be back in el momento. Did he go anywhere, eh? I'll be back.
Information overload. From the moment we wake up to the moment we go to bed, we are being bombarded with information left and right. Social media feeds, notification, reminders set on your phone, alarm clocks, news feeds around the clock. It becomes so noisy inside our head and within our immediate surrounding, to the point where we are now fully programmed entities who act exactly how they input information had it planned. For example, you watch the news where X is described as the villain, and you start disliking X or everyone who looks like X. Or you watch a social media feed where Y is portrayed as being kind, with hero-like qualities, and you start smiling, displaying affections for Y or everyone who looks like Y, with no critical thinking whatsoever. Yes, you are reacting emotionally, but you're also being programmed to react in such a manner through consistent exposure to stimuli. The villain and the hero who once thought only existed in movies is now being transported, recreated in our world. But our world is in fiction. Your life is in fiction. The question here is that if our lives is in fiction, then why is it being run like one? Let me know.
Was constructed on the ruins of another society and by the mass dispossession of another people who remain unacknowledged as just sort of obscure natives in the background. Back to the desert, let them go to one of the other Arab countries. That's been the position. And we bear no. The Oslo Accords say specifically that Israel bears no responsibility for the costs of the occupation. This after 20 years, 26 years of military occupation, no responsibility. As an Israeli journalist said, he said, we took over the country in 1948 from the British. The British left us the port of Haifa, a road system, an electrical system, a large number of municipal buildings, and lots of prisons. And we could build Israel. Without that, there would be no state today. If we had taken Palestine in 1948 the way we left Gaza for the Palestinians, there would be no Israel. We destroyed the economy. We deported most of the capable people. We forced the people to live in hovels and refugee camps over a period. I mean, if anybody's been to Gaza, it's one of the most criminal places on earth because of Israeli policy of occupation. And they bear no responsibility for it. I mean, that's simply unacceptable, even for the Jewish people who have suffered so much. It's unacceptable. You cannot continue to victimize somebody else just because you yourself were a victim once. There has to be a limit.
It's shit. It's shite. It's the same old fucking crap. Bollocks. Absolute fucking Jonathan Ross. Fucking toss. Wank. Shite. Shit and shat. Heard it all before. It's a fucking war. Knock it on the head and put it to fucking bed. That's the new Sleaford Mods track. Fucking wank.
24.
Right. Have you all subscribed to the Discontent YouTube channel? Have you fuck? Have you all attempted to donate to Discontent as we gradually, step by step, attempt to raise funds to expand our mission of original cultural broadcasting? Anecdotal, but my story is the same. As many other Scottish musicians I know, if you're no in the clique, you're either ignored or actively sabotaged by their wee institutions. Example, the Skinny et al. Producer of Mogwai's film, was part of Wide Days, who were the organiser of Scottish Showcase in South by Southwest, hence them being cowards and not pulling out of South by Southwest over Israeli funding as they had a film to plug. There you go. And we also know that Rob, now this ties in neatly. Like, by the way, I'm circling back to that. If you're able to donate to the stream, please do so. The link is at the top of the chat in YouTube. What have I done there? That's not I. Oh wait a minute, no, I didn't want to leave. Hold on a second. The link is in the top of why is that doing that? Go to site. I've done something wrong here. The link is in the top of the chat in the YouTube, and I'll post it in the Twitter chat as well. So if anybody wants to buy me a coffee, which just goes into the Discontent kitty, then please do so. We're not joking here, eh? We do a lot more than what you can possibly imagine, but that's okay. That's cool. One step at a time and all that. But this whole thing ties into what I wanted to talk about here. We have an election, don't we? We have an election in Scotland next year. And like, I mentioned this before, I've said this before about Discontent and about What the X, and I tried to make this comparison between the salons of the 19th century, or was it more the 18th century, but like you know, the salons, you know, where Hume and all these shaggers like Boswell and that would all be fucking slavering away with their enlightened values. It still meant they were a bunch of fucking chauvinists. But the kind of basic kind of premise was that like everyone was doubting the orthodoxy of the church and religion, and they were like, right, we're dispensing with this ridiculous nonsense. I think it was probably about another 100 years before Thomas Aikenhead was still like burnt at the stake or hung or whatever for blasphemy, but that's another story. But if you're a participant on What the X, or Discontent, or you're down with where we're coming from culturally, there is no distinction between party politics, right? And the political class are all the same. And if you're still one of these people who thinks because one of them says Labour and one of them says the SNP and one of them says reform or whatever, and you really believe that there is a significant difference because of the rosette that your member of the neoliberal political class is wearing, then there is something cognitively, either willfully or naturally wrong with you, right? They're all just professional, political, careerist twats, right? And we're now going to be subjected to this gaudy pantomime where these fannies come out and beg for their jobs over the period of time where the election is. And we all have to be condescended by that. But we're not just condescended by them, we're condescended by the parasites who populate the media class, because the political class and the media class are one and the same entity. And they perform this rather cringeworthy, embarrassing masquerade to essentially try to, for the last few morons out there who aren't grasping what's going on here. And I think that it's important. So when we have a situation where we're flooded with Zionist capital, where Starmer is just a fucking puppet to all kinds of other agencies or influences, where we have a elected administration who can distract us with authoritarian shite and have at the same time have us essentially turn a blind eye or desire that we turn a blind eye to this massacring of human beings. It's not really acceptable, is it? And so this recognising the Palestinian state, whilst I think the Palestinian ambassador guy, you can understand that he's obviously feels it's a significant thing or a worthy thing, but the political class, when you've got Anas Sarwar saying, right, honoured to stand with the ambassador, which is, what's his name actually, it's Hussam Zomlot, at the ceremony marking the UK's recognition of the state of Palestine, a vital step towards peace, justice and a two-state solution. Well, we already know that the two-state solution is a ridiculous concept, right? Ridiculous. But the fact that this parasite is willing to do that when he knows that his leader that he bends the knee to is utterly drenched in Palestinian blood, and by virtue of that so is Sarwar. Jamie says, you don't care, you're a wanker. Been going on for decades and you only pipe up now. You didn't care when you were a wee posh boy at Hutchie. Fuck you. But it's true, it's this sense, and the SNP, same thing. Robertson was keen to jump onto this, and they were all rushing around, and Swinney was down there. Swinney went from licking Starmer's arse at the banquet to cuddling the Palestinian ambassador, within the space of about 2 or 3 days. And you have to say to yourself, who amongst us is willing to participate in this fucking insulting affront to our intelligence? John Swinney is an asset, an agent of the British establishment, right? There's more chance of King Charles affording Scotland its independence without any, influence than John Swinney delivering it to us, right? And we've got this situation now where the SNP and those, perfunctory fucking muppets that comprise the SNP's elected representatives are cock a hoop because they're 17 points ahead of Labour, and they're going like, right, we're just going to walk into the next Scottish Parliament, and we're going to insult the Scottish electorate with a whole bunch of shite about how we're going to bring independence to them and that, which they're not going to do any such thing. Politics, contemporary party politics, is about one thing and one thing only, and that is electoral power. What happened, any idea of changing anything radically or doing something, that doesn't matter. These people are interested in their own personal security and their parliamentary pension, and that goes right across the board. And I think the thing that troubles me a little bit about it, is that, it doesn't trouble me, right? But the thing that you kind of go like, there's this idea within the Scottish independence movement or the nationalist movement, you know, that we're this kind of rowdy nation that are like, you know, willing to fucking disrupt the Union, and, you know, the fearsome Scots, and they like to play into that. And when they go on their marches and they all go out there, and you've got your Yes bikers, you've got your fucking Klansmen and all this shite, right? Well, it certainly looks shite if your political representatives are a bunch of fucking forelock-tugging, bending-the-knee fucking sycophants to the British establishment. The greatest act of disruption that Scottish nationalists could make against the British state would be to usurp the SNP of power and remove these parasites from representing them as their political representation of the independence movement. They have failed. These are the same people that marched you up the hill and then failed you, right? And now they're all now they're plain sailing because Labour are so shite, right? But why give them? Why just give it to them on a plate? That's what I'm trying to figure out. You know, who are these SNP acolytes that just didn't get it? Because there's a lot of them. So what do you think? Come on, Did he just leave it to me, or? I'm not even going to play that guy. That guy was a total teapot, eh? I just found this vulgar, you know. This guy brought the Israelis over when they were a year into the genocide. And him and Robertson, you know, and then they can't wait to go and, like, you know, and my friend and all the rest of it. Is that what he called him, you know? With my friend. Your friend. It's disgusting, man. It's rank. Right, I'll be back in 2 minutes. For those of us who are still here.
I know what you called him. You called him bullshit jobs.
Yeah.
Bullshit jobs. What's a bullshit job?
Bullshit jobs. Okay, well, I got on this idea when I was looking at, back in the 30s, people used to talk about what's the world going to be like in 2014, 2020. And they thought, well, everybody's going to be working 10, 15 hours a week because we'll have machines doing everything. And if you look at what happened, it could have happened that way. I mean, because here we are, we've got, like, almost all the industrial jobs, they're kind of automated away. All domestic service, gone. Farming, completely gone. We got almost nobody in farming anymore. At the same time, everybody's working more rather than less. So where does it come from? Well, it's like service, but not just service. Everybody talks about service. It's even more than that. It's like clerical, administrative, that kind of jobs. So they used to be 25% of all jobs. Now they're 75%. Yeah, no, it's totally true. The people on the bottom get totally squeezed, and they fire more and more of them, make the remaining people do more and more work. But the people on the higher level, they do less and less. I was down in this tea factory. It was occupied by their workers down near Marseille in France. And they said that one of the things that drove them to take over the factory,
company was Lipton. They were making huge profits. The more profits they made, they never gave the workers a raise. In fact, they kept firing them, making them work harder. Instead, they took the money and they hired more of these like white-collar guys who just spend all day sort of staring at them, monitoring their labor. And those guys were being paid through the nose. They're huge amounts of money. So those are the bullshit jobs. These guys don't actually do anything. They're just sort of like writing letters to each other, going to conferences with each other, filling out, making up forms for the other guys to fill out, and it's just this parasitical class. And there's so many people like that. There's like corporate lawyers, there's human resource people, there's all these sort of corporate bureaucrats. And when I wrote the piece, I thought, these guys must know their jobs are really bullshit, right? They must be sitting there suffering inside saying, how can I have dignity in labor when I secretly know my job shouldn't even exist? Of course they can't say they feel their job can't exist, but they must be suffering inside. So I wrote this piece, like describing that, like think about the moral and spiritual violence of having to go to work every day, knowing that your job is just total bullshit. And I guess if there's ever a hypothesis that was confirmed by the reaction, that was it. Because suddenly, within 3 weeks, it was translated into 12 different languages. It was going viral all over the world. People were trading it around inside the financial services industries. People were passing this thing back and forth. One guy said he got it 8 times a day from different people.
This is actually admin of the university, because there used to be just the teacher and the student, and now there's like University of the Arts. We're not too far from it. They got a massive fuck-off building in Holborn down there.
Yeah, they got more admin than teachers,
More admin than teachers. They got a bigger admin building than the fucking university.
Yeah, what exactly are they administering?
They're doing marketing.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, like the average university has
seriously,
12
they're doing
different
marketing.
PR guys.
I've been up there. They're doing marketing.
The average corporation has 2. The average university has like 12 to 15.
David Graeber there. Right, listen, we're getting close to the end. And absolutely no cunt's even bought me a coffee this morning. Is that the state of affairs? We've got about 100 people watching between the 2 platforms at the minute. Tight bastards. Scottish Libertarian Party, who, in principle, I have I've said many times, polarised ideas about how things should work, but often find ourselves in complete agreement. Every problem that the government is using as an excuse to introduce digital ID is a problem caused by the government. Once again, a digital ID will cost us loads of money and not feed one hungry child. Very true. Yeah, it's Tony Blair's kind of fetishised project, isn't it?
I know you're worried about the level of illegal migration into the country. Digital ID is another measure to make it tougher to work illegally, making our borders more secure. Ours is a fairer bit and built on change, not division.
Fuck it, Christ. We knew that this is what was coming. This is what makes it depressing, a wee bit. We knew what these people were like. So many of us did, Absolutely spot on. We are going to get SNP for the same reason we got Labour. Ramp up the fear of the right so people vote for managed decline. People just vote for political class opportunists that are never going to change anything in any significant way whatsoever. They're going to get nice secure jobs, nice secure pensions. We basically vote for our abusers. That's what goes on, Chris Breaks, it's the same response RESNP. They're the only party large enough to beat the unionist establishment parties. Unfortunately, they've shown themselves to be a third side of the same bent coin. Very true. And the question is, what can you do to alter it? And there are things that can be done, but it takes a, we'll have to touch on this maybe next time with a bit more preparation or whatnot, but there has to be somewhat of a reasoned interrogation by the bourgeois electorate if sections of that electorate want change, you know? The question that has to really be addressed here is the structural problems that neoliberalism has created. And if we're not willing to raise our consciousness collectively, merci beaucoup, to raise our consciousness collectively and recognise why this system is completely fucked. I mean, all that we can really hope to do is to disrupt it in its current form. But it can be disrupted. It can be disrupted. And it doesn't take a huge amount of effort to do that, but it does take a collective idea. It does take a sense of, for want of a better term, unity. Now, people might think I'm a divisive character. I can't imagine why that would be the case. But I don't think I am actually that divisive. And I think that I've been banging a particular drum for a long time. I think a lot of people know I've been banging that drum as well, and they haven't been particularly honest about it. And I guess that's up to them. But what I would say this morning, before I people like Mike and that, they'll be jumping on this. This is where they can frame it all between like the unionists and nationalists. But let's be honest about this, right? People like Mike and that, they're very much part of that nationalist project. They're flag wavers for the SNP. Been flag waving for the SNP for a decade, mate. Not interested in what these people have got to say. They've not got any politics. They're liberals with no politics. And they tilled the land in many ways for what we are now experiencing, for the shit that's now growing on it. No interested. However, let's be honest about this, it's still only a very specific demographic that will actually put its X in the box. And the people that know that most are the political class and the media class. You know? What was the whole swan thing? Some immigrants ate a swan or something? I missed that. I just saw a bunch of people talking about it. Gutter Blood, the great band that I am honoured contributor to, have got a soft launch of their album today on Bandcamp, and the main release is on the 10th. Let me just check. Your last chance to receive all these extra freebies at the Gutter Blood Saloon. Offer ends at the end of today. It's a great album, I have to say. There was a nice review of it the other day there. So I would, obviously I'm biased, but I would say thanks for that. I knew there was something I wanted to mention there. Yes, Bram Gieben, Weaponizer, has written a great article for Discontent on the dangers of morality and ideology, or the cynical appropriation of morality by certain nefarious elements. Where have I put it? It's here. Is it? Yes, this is it here. This is a great article, and I would recommend having a wee scan at that on the Discontent website as well. I think that's pretty much us. Noisy Parker got the vinyl LP this week. Fucking smashing album. Thank you very much. Respect to everybody that was involved in it, but most of all to Andy McVanaman, who's done double the amount of work of everyone else on that. So well done, Andy. I'm going to love yous and leave yous, but I'm going to leave yous with a cool track, and it's a cool vibe for me personally, this track. A friend of mine, a very dear friend of mine, a phenomenal guitar player, Chris Dawkins, passed away earlier in the year. I'd worked with Chris on loads of projects over the years, and he was an absolute master of his craft, and he was one of the most loveliest guys you could ever have met in your life. He worked with so many amazing musicians and artists over the years, incredibly famous people, incredibly humble guy. I went down to his service at Bradford Cathedral with Daddy Scotty a few months ago, and it was one of the most amazing events I've ever been at. It was absolutely packed. It was a full gospel vibe. It was just phenomenal. And the guy that I'd worked with Chris on a couple of things was Inder Goldfinger, who is a percussionist, tabla player, and I've done a lot of stuff with Ian Brown. And Inder's son, he's Silverfinger Sing. And this is a track with Silverfinger and Inder's in it, and it's called Cool Vibes, and it's a nice wee vibe. We started the day with a wee bit of an Indian vibe, with the Indian Scottish vibe, and we're ending it on a similar note with Silverfinger Sing Cool Vibes. So I'm going to play out with this, and I'll catch us all next Friday at 10 AM. Stay cool and all the rest of it. Ciao.
You were by my side. Without you, I don't see the light. I'm in love with your cool vibes. Got lost and found in your brown eyes. Saw my dreams wash away with the tide. All I wanna do is hold you tight. So alone as I'm walking this road. Now I'm all on my own and I'm finding my zone. I never knew cold till the moment we froze. Never knew cold days go by as we scroll. Lies that we told, the truths that we know. The pain doesn't hurt but comes out in this flow. Standing in the mirror, looking at a sinner Van Gogh. Of these scriptures stand like a winner. Found in your brown eyes. I'm here wishing you were by my side. Without you, I don't see the light. I'm in love with your cool vibes. Got lost and found in your brown eyes. Saw my dreams wash away with the tide. All I wanna do is hold you tight.